Good evening, everyone. Uh, today, I'm Subhashri, and I would like to take up the Grow Up Academy session on decision making. So, everyone would be familiar with the word decision, and we all know how to make a decision. But today, this session is basically to understand and discuss whether the decisions made in a right manner, whether we are taking the proper steps while we are making a decision. So, as I said, everyone would be aware of decision making. But in simple words, if we want to explain what decision making means, it is a process of making choices between available multiple alternatives. So we might be having multiple alternative options from which we have to decide which would suit the best for the particular situation. So everyone is bound to make a decision at some or the other place, but we need to make it in a right manner. So, what are the influencing factors and techniques that affect the decision making process? So, influencing factors of the decision making process are the short term emotions and being confirmation biased, narrow framing, overconfidence, and also some other external factors like time pressure, or the priorities that we take, all those things. And based on the techniques, what are the techniques that we can follow while making a decision? First of all, the topic is prioritizing goal and brainstorming. So, this technique can help us to identify the potential benefits, like whether the goal is a short term or a long term, whether it has to be achieved at present, and brainstorming it like what are the pros and cons related with the decision. So, everything comes under this technique. Other than that, the second, third um, technique are the cost benefit analysis and the uh, group decision making. So when it comes to cost benefit analysis, cost effective analysis, we know that we have to evaluate the cost whenever the cost is inculcated in the decision. So based on that, we have to choose the proper alternative option that we have. So this is just a warm-up type on a decision making. We all know what are the influencing factors and the techniques and what does a decision making means. So we will move on to the steps, like how the decision should be made, and we can also discuss the real lifetime examples, uh, how this can be achieved with this step. So here we have 5 steps in the decision making process. The first states definition. So we all are homemakers. Basically, we work in the kitchen. So I would like to take a simple example that is based on kitchen, so that everyone understand the step better. So whenever we are defining the problem, so for example, we can take that we are about to cook a evening snack for our family. So this is what the definition for which we are going to make a decision. Next, when it comes to the measure, now we have defined that we have to cook a snack for everyone at the evening time. What are the measures? So, as is the correct information and options. Like you have to check the measures, what all things that you are available within your kitchen, and then you can also check out like whether this um, uh, snack that you are preparing is good to go with every family member. Like maybe in a family we have old aged people, we also have kids, we also have middle aged person, so everyone should love the snack as well as everyone should enjoy it. So whenever you are measuring, you should always measure the current information and options that you have in hand with you. Then analyze it. Analyzation goes along with the measurement. So whenever you are measuring the information that you are having in hand, you have to analyze all those options, whether they are correct. And then the other two steps are good to go with the analyzation part. Once you have analyzed, then you decide and you take the control over it and just wait for the outcome to come in a good manner. So this is how we should make a decision by following these steps. Other than that, we can also input these steps in our personal as well as professional field wherever we wish to. So here we have a very good book named Decisive, written by authors Chip Heath and Dan Heath. This book basically gives a scientific four-step approach, like on how to make decisions for a better career. So before this slide, I explained the steps in decision-making process in a very simple way. But over here, this would help us to work much more better and to get it implemented in our life so that we can make better decisions. So to wrap up, to short the summary of these steps mentioned in the book, there are only four major steps that has been mentioned in this book. That is the RAP method for making a better decision for our life. So what is this RAP method? The first step for this four-step approach is widening your option. In this step, the author means to not always decide in a binary code. What do you mean by binary code? So, binary is basically two, yes or no. Whenever there is a question, you should not have a decision only in a yes or no part. So, here, if we go for an example, it said that if you have a night party, Friday night party. So you may have two options that either you're going to the party or you're not going to the party. But according to this widen your option, the author wishes to say us that always have one more option in saying yes, no, and the third option would be no, but if I'm not going, so is it simply that I'm not going and doing my regular activities? Or is it no, but I'm going to invest my time in something else? Like maybe I'm enjoying my time with my family or with my some other friend, or I'm doing it for some productive activity. So this is the third option that we wish to inculcate in widening the option, which would help us to not only decide in between yes or no, but it can go much more beyond that. Then comes the same option, which we can imply in the basis of money also, in money matters. So when you think of buying a dress, maybe for 500 or 1000 rupees, so it doesn't matter whether you buy it for a 500 or 1000, only money matters. But when you decide to go for a cheaper one, for a 500 rupees dress, then what about the remaining 500 that you're saving by selecting the cheaper one? That 500 rupees, what you're going to make use of it? Whether you're going to save it or whether you're going to use it to buy anything else. And if you're not going to use that money in a productive way, then why you have to save that money by buying a cheaper one? So this is how you have to widen your options and decide your decisions based on widening your option. Also, in this widening option, it is said that if you offer a binary alternative when you wish to decide some people, so that time if you give an option that buy a dress for 1000 rupees or you don't buy, majority of people they would say no. But when an option was given to them that you can buy anything for that 1000 rupees, the decline rate was decreasing. Many of them accepted because they would buy something that is useful for them because they were given an option that was wide in range. So this is how you have to always think out of the box and not giving a binary option for having a decision. Second comes reality testing your assumption. So always test your assumption. Give a trial for whatever you're assuming. For example, if you're a very good content writing virtual assistant and you're working for someone and you're doing your own blogs for that client, but now you wish to start your own blog. So do you think is that necessary to stop what you're doing at present and start writing your own blog? Not necessarily. You can also go for an option by writing one of the blog, also keeping your job aside, and then check whether if you like it, whether you are liking it to do in that manner, then you can go for taking a decision. So before taking a decision, it is advised by the author that you always give a trial, you always run a reality test, you always run an experiment, whatever you're trying to do. In simple words, if we have to say, before jumping into a pool of water, test it by dipping your toe. So it would make you comfortable for making much big transformations. The third step in this book for the four-step approach comes attaining distance before deciding. So why this distance and what type of distance? So as we discussed in the influencing factor, emotion is the first that comes as an influencing factor in having a decision. So these emotions are short-term emotions. So how to have a distance while making a decision from these emotions? The author says that these emotions has to be stopped while making a decision. So how we can do? He have given two cool tricks to decide by maintaining this distance with the emotion. Whenever you're making a decision, always check whether the decision that you have chosen would be the same after 10 minutes, after 10 hours, and after 10 years. So this is a 10-10-10 rule that author would like to suggest us. The first thing, 10 minutes. Your short-term emotions may vanish after 10 minutes or maybe after 10 months or maybe after 10 years. But the decision that you have taken would not vanish. So you must be very much sure before taking the decision whether the decision taken now would be the same and would not affect me after 10 minutes or 10 hours or 10 years. So this is how you have to make distance from your emotion while making a decision. The one more cool trick that the author has prescribed here is to try imagine the problem for which you're trying to take the solution, trying to take a decision. Check whether imagine if that problem is one of your friend. So your friend is narrating you the same problem and try to advise them to make a decision on that problem. Because whenever you're giving some advice, it is very much concrete and it is very much objective. Because your friend's short-term emotion won't affect you making a decision. So always try like giving advice to someone else because it's just kind of their emotion, it's not your emotion. So this is how the three steps work. And finally, the fourth, this would come after the application of your decision. Prepared to be wrong. In any case, even after following these many steps, there may be some natural calamity or unexpected rings happening. So decision may go wrong. So always be prepared that even if the decision go wrong, be strong and check out what can be done further and what decisions can be taken further if anything goes wrong. So this is how I would like everyone to take the decision in their life, in their professional as well as personal life, and have a bright future. Thank you.